You're on your couch, relaxing at last. The room is quiet. You've doom-scrolled enough for the night, and your brain is just beginning to settle into that nice, numb state of rest. Then, it happens. The phone vibrates against the coffee table. A name appears on the screen. Be honest, what is the very first emotion you have? It isn't joy, it isn't excitement. For a split second, it's dread. Your cortisol spikes, your heart rate jumps. You look at the glowing screen like it's a bomb that's going to explode, counting down the seconds until it's over. You aren't thinking, oh, I wonder how Mike is doing. You're thinking, what does he want? And why is he doing this now? Here's the thing about the modern psyche. We have developed a group, low-grade telephonophobia. Psychologically, we no longer regard a phone call as a gift. We perceive it as a hostile intrusion. Decades ago, when a phone rang, it was a dopamine hit. It was a rare event. It meant that someone was reaching out across the void to find you. But scarcity is value, and today, access to you is cheap. It's everywhere. So when someone calls you without texting first, they aren't just calling, they are kicking down your front door, walking into your living room, and demanding you drop everything and pay attention to them. It is a call for synchronicity in an asynchronous world. Let's break that down. Most of your life is now asynchronous. You respond to emails when you have the bandwidth. You respond to DMs when you're bored. You watch movies if you want. You are the architect of your own time. You have control. A phone call destroys this control. It forces you to be live in your performance. You can't edit. You can't delete. You can't stop to think of a good retort. You are being held hostage by the flow of the conversation, and you don't know how long it's going to last. Is this a 2-minute check-in or a 40-minute trauma dump? You don't know, and that is what triggers the brain's defense mechanisms. We have trained ourselves to consider uninvited audio as an aggression. It's a theft of the one thing you have very little of, your attention span. When you ignore the call, when you watch it ring out until the screen goes black, you feel a tiny rush of relief. That's not just laziness. That is your brain reclaiming its territory. You just defended your fortress. But if we dig a little deeper, this isn't just about time management. It's about something much more personal. We haven't just stopped calling because we're busy. We stopped calling because we are terrified of being seen without a filter. Which brings us to the real reason we like the grey bubbles of a text message. It's not about convenience, it's about control. We got used to texting since it provided us with the only thing that reality could never afford to offer. A backspace button. Consider the last time you had a very tough conversation, perhaps a breakup, or even requesting a raise, or even by simply telling them that you did something wrong. Had you done that on the phone, you were skating on thin ice. You had to react in real time. You had to listen to the dismay in their speech. You were obliged to sit there and have them digest what you had to say. But in a text, you are safe. It is what psychologists term impression management. When you are face-to-face or voice-to-voice, you are unpolished, you stutter, you say stupid things. Before you can pull yourself together, you end up disclosing that you are insecure or angry. However, when you are texting, you are the editor of your life. You see that blinking cursor? That is your safety net. You can write a ragey emotional paragraph, read it, and then understand that you are being insane and delete the entire text and put in place a single thumbs up emoji. You are editing the best of version of yourself. You are not communicating, you are broadcasting. You are a PR manager who is responsible of publishing your existence. And we are now addicted to this edited version of us. It is much more favorable than the dishevelly, fumbling reality of what we really are. And then there is the silence. In the psychology of conversation, silence is heavy. If you're on the phone with someone and nobody speaks for 4 seconds, your brain starts screaming, did I offend them? Are they bored? Is this over? It is socially excruciating. We have forgotten to put up with the pause. Texting takes away the burden of silence. When you send out a message and they fail to respond within 3 hours, you do not have to sit there and experience the awkward silence. You can say to yourself that they are busy. You can say to yourself they are driving. You can suspend reality. Texting allows us to maintain a relationship without ever risking the vulnerability of the present moment. It is a shield. It cushions you against the sting of an ill joke, an awkward pause, or a rejected advance. Here, though, is the price of that security. By cutting out all the pauses and the stutters and the awkwardness, you are not merely cutting out the bad stuff. You are eliminating the human factor. You are disinfecting relations till it is sterile. This is selling intimacy to control. We are opting to be right instead of being real. We are communicating more than any humans in history, yet we are misunderstanding each other more than ever. Why? This is due to the fact that a text message is an extremely low-resolution reality. When you strip away the voice, you strip away the data. You miss the volume, the cadence, the stutter, the breath. You lose the music of the human soul. This has a concept in the eyes of psychologists. It's called the 7-38-55 rule. It implies that the words you say have only 7% meaning. The rest, it's tone and body language. You are functioning with and at 7% signal when you are texting. You are attempting to make a masterpiece out of single color. And here is where it becomes dangerous. The brain of a human being hates emptiness. When it does not know, as is the case with the tone of a voice, it fills in the gaps, and it tends to stuff them with your own insecurity. You know this feeling. You send a risky text. The reply comes back, sure, just that. Sure. Now you spiral. Is that a sure sounds good? Or is it a sure whatever I do not mind? Or is it passive-aggressive sure if you insist? You would be able to know immediately you heard their voice. However, in the silence of the screen, you have to imagine the existence of a tone which may not exist at all. We are always writing anger where there is none, and boredom where we are comfortable. The conflicts that we are making are all in our heads. We have traded intimacy for connectivity. You might text 20 people today. You might feel connected to all of them, but connection is not the same as intimacy. Connection is a data point. Intimacy is a biological resonance. There is actual biology at play here that we are starving ourselves of. The presence of a familiar voice, such as that of your mother or your partner or your best friend, triggers oxytocin in your brain. It reduces your cortisol levels. It controls your nervous system literally. In one of the studies, young girls were made to undergo a stressful situation. One group texted their mums. The other group called their mums. The texting population recorded no changes in stress hormones. The group that called? The level of stress among them decreased nearly instantly. Texting is social snacking. It deceives your brain into believing that you have consumed something, but this does not have any nutritional value. You are round, yet you are anorexic. The biology of connection has been ghosted by us. We are attempting to forge relationships in a platform that was created on an informational rather than emotional exchange platform. Comfort is a slow death, and right now, your social skills are dying a quiet death of comfort. This is the ugly reality that we do not want to know. We are not simply evading awkwardness by not calling. We are working our social muscles to death. Think of conversation like a muscle. Unless you occasionally haul the heavy stuff, you lose the power to haul the light stuff, the texts, the memes, the likes. You find yourself deficient in skills of conflict management, ability to cope with a dead air moment in a conversation, ability to think on your feet. We are turning into a community of individuals who are good at constructing the sentences but have phobia to utter them. We are becoming fragile. How do we shatter the glass wall then? What do we do to prevent the phone call turning into the bomb disposal operation? You have to lower the stakes. Why you hate calling is because you believe that all calls must be an event. You believe that it should have a cause, an agenda, and a fixed duration. You are thinking too deep about the performance. You need to embrace the useless call, make a call, and tell him that you saw a dog that resembled their dog. Call and talk to somebody as you walk into the store and say, "Hey, I have 5 minutes before I walk into 7-Eleven, but I wanted to hear your voice." This is a psychological hack. You eliminate the fear of being a hostage by creating a hard time deadline. I only have 5 minutes. You have made a way out even before the talk begins. You keep it safe between the two at a time. In case the live call seems too risky, begin with the gateway drug. Voice notes. Voice notes are the bridge. You have the resonance of the voice, the tone, the laugh, but you retain the security of the asynchronous delay. You are able to record it, despise it, and erase it. But you are sending at least a part of your humanity and not a part of information. It's about exposure therapy. You must recondition your mind that the ringing sound is not something to be scared of. One day you will have to scroll through your text history with the person you like, maybe someone who is gone, and you will see the blue bubbles, you will see the jokes, but you won't hear them. A text message is a record. It's a transcript. It's evidence that you knew each other. But a voice is a memory. It vibrates in your skull. It has texture. It haunts you in the best way possible. Don't let your relationships become nothing but a database of digital archives.